Jay. Shalom, brother. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my earthly mother. Thank you to my heavenly father, earthly mother, for giving me the opportunity to be a light while I am in this reality. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jaquab Ben Israel, and welcome to my channel where I just try to redeem the time. I just try to draw near. I believe that my reality, I believe my life is an opportunity to redeem time, to store up, to determine my future eternity. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that what I do now, that it has some benefit to what I will be. I think it's the same for anyone listening to my video. You're more likely than not to be spiritual, and you want to identify, you want to join with brethren, sisters, and brethren who are also spiritual as well. I don't claim to be anybody great, not trying to be anybody world famous. I'm just doing what it's in me to do. And one thing that really blesses my soul is, I think of my mom, and I know that, we all know our mom. And my mom, I know she mainly wanted me to, she would mainly have me to do, as long as it's in my heart to do it. I think that's the only thing that really mattered to her and anybody really. Just whatever is your desire, your most strongest desire, especially if it's noble, if it's right and true. I know without a shadow of a doubt that is what my that when I think of my mom, that is what she would have me to do. Be honorable, be your brother's keeper to the best of your ability, be a benefit to anyone. Don't just be only about yourself, be responsible, be responsible for the less fortunate as well. I think that's what I saw in looking at her character, and I'm all for it. I am all for that, and just so happens I am spiritual as well, meaning I just believe that for some reason that the spiritual is far more than the physical. Although I'm learning that the creator, he desires a well-balanced spiritual and a physical. In other words, it seems to me that as I'm learning, as I'm growing, the creator wants people to be the whole man, the whole man. When I say that, of course, I mean sisters too, that we're here to balance the two, not really to, I forget what the name of that is. There's a name for when you put down the physical and you raise the spiritual higher than the physical. And I forget what the name of that is, but that's not the will of the Father, from what I understand. And I got that just recently from, I think it was from the book I'm going to read from today called Radiance Anthology. That's the whole secret right there. And I agree with that. It's not all about, I think that's where religions, they get it wrong, man. You get it wrong. You emphasize one over the other. And worse than that, you don't teach people how to balance the spiritual and the physical. And now we live in a whole world of people who are upside down, unbalanced, and vexed and problematic. I think that that's the world as a whole in a nutshell. We can't find no equilibrium. Now we're sitting here, now think about it, on the verge of a world war. You brother know that it really got started today, right? It really kicked off today, all right? So look at the news, man. Listen to what the radio or the internet. Look what's all on the news right now. See, it's another. I mean, let me digress for 1 second. When you read the OAHSPE Bible, one thing I read is that when you have these conflicts among men, it's really the Creator withdrawing the Ashars, guardian angels. He's really withdrawing them. When you read the OAHSPE Bible, you read that just before or right after cosmic era started, the era which we live in right now, it's called, I better get the OAHSPE up because, let me see, I better bring it up because I'm going to be using it. Let me see if I've got it ready to go. The OAHSPE. Nope, I don't have it on that screen. So I better get it ready to go because when I see now, I may be referring to it. Don't you know that before the current era that we are in right now, called the cosmic era, that's the era of change. Brother, it's an era of change for your behind, meaning our reality is going to change. And there ain't nothing nobody can do about it. It's going to change from the carnal, from materialism, to ego, to the fraternity that we had been reading about lately. It's going to turn into the fraternity of the brotherhood of spiritual brethren and sisters all over the world. The cosmic era. And don't you know when you read the OAHSPE, it talks about the conflagration of the Civil War and some events that happened during the Civil War and after the Civil War. I'm talking about what happened between the North and the South. And the OAHSPE actually mentions that there was a period where the Creator decided to remove, or working through a proxy, he decided to remove the guardian angels. And a big fat riot broke out called the New York uprisings, I think, where a big fat riot broke out because the Creator, he decided to remove the guardian angels, the Ashars. Let me see if I can find it. The New York uprisings. There it is right there. Right there. New York City draft riots. New York City draft riots. Do you know that the OAHSPE Bible, it mentions this? Now, they have their account, which you can read right here as to why and what happened. But the OAHSPE says, I forget what the OAHSPE says. I think it was to bring about the, I forget why, oh boy, yeah. I forget the OAHSPE, the angle that it put on the, as to why the Civil War had to happen. I think it had something to do with, I can't really say right now. I don't want to try to recall it. I forget. But what the Creator's reason for withdrawing the Ashars, but he said it did happen, and then this was the result. And it was either right around the time of the Civil War. So this is, if you read it, this is the account that they're going to give as to why it happened. Talks about Abraham Lincoln. He's mentioned in the OAHSPE as to how he got used to end slavery. How he got used, Abraham Lincoln, mentioned in the OAHSPE as to how he got used. The creator even said that he sent Abraham Lincoln to a seer or a medium or somebody who had a familiar spirit or something to give him a sign that he was to free or Emancipation Proclamation. So, but anyway, when the creator, when he allows the shards to be withdrawn, then things like this happen. And the same goes for where we are today. We're now in a situation, April 13th, where it could be that the creator he's withdrawing regionally, meaning in that area, the shards are being withdrawn, and that means the bombs start flying. The bombs start flying. Now, when you look at the Civil War, it was right at the time that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, meaning they were set free. Now, if you ask me, I'll say something like, we could be in a situation where we're getting ready to break free, faith as sons and daughters, to implement our program. Now, I'm just speculating, but I'm just saying, we could be in a situation where, we know we're in a cosmic era. We know Pluto has now gone into Aquarius, a astrological event, which signifies a change in our reality. A change in our reality. That's the big picture right there. And we're going to be living in a time where people are, I'm pretty sure I can perceive that they're going to start sowing to the spirit, going to start seeing the temporariness of all things. And then that's where the sons and daughters, faithists, are going to be used, their light shining brighter, their way of life, their way of treating, of loving one another, being shown to the world, our numbers growing, and the numbers of what the OAHSPE Bible calls the drugs. The drugs, not to insult anybody, it's just the OAHSPE Bible. It has terminology for people. And one of those terms is the drugs. Now, these are people who they right now are not at the level of faith that they will be. I'll say it like that. I want to be careful about, I don't want to offend anybody. But it's interesting that the creator, he describes, he classifies brethren in this reality. Now, I'm just trying to look for the word to emphasize what I'm to just show you what I'm talking about. It says a drunk is a low mortal, one who desires no spiritual light, one who cannot overstand spiritually, an evil man, a warrior, a druge, applies to an angel, the same as a drunk, to a mortal, low, dark, evil, and dangerous. Now, this is talking about people who they desire no spiritual light, not talking about people who do desire a spiritual light, but maybe they just can't overstand right now on the level that some other brethren can overstand. So, I forgot to share the tab, but I was reading this right here. I forgot to share the tab. I was reading this, drudge. So, we're in a situation, part of being a faithist is, just because we're a faithist and we have faith, and it don't mean that we just turn a blind eye to what's going on around us. One of the things that I believe the creator gives us reality is so that we can learn how to discern the period of time that we're living in and what the creator is doing. So I certainly, I count myself to be a realist and a faithist, meaning I pay attention to what's going on around me, and I try to let it teach me a lesson about what happens when men forget the creator. What happens when we forget the creator? We can't prosper, man. It's an age-old lesson. You would have thought we'd have learned it by now, but we can't. It's a lesson. We can't learn it. We can't learn it, man. And people, it's an amazing thing. People cannot learn most of the time till it's too late. It's a good thing, man, that the Creator's love is inexhaustible. You can't exhaust it. Matter of fact, I read in the OAHSPE where he says that don't look at people who are not bearing the type of fruit that others may bear. Don't look down on them. They're just counted as unripe. You know how you plant a tree, orange tree starts to grow? There are fruits that ripen quicker than others, meaning you can harvest it and enjoy the fruit. And you got to wait for other fruit to, they need longer. So that's the situation we're in. So we don't have to look down on anybody. We're all part of the tree of life. Some are ripening quicker than others. We don't have to look down on anybody else. It's just that some get harvested quicker than others. See? So everywhere you turn, you read the OAHSPE, everywhere you turn, man, if you like the type of person you need bad news, you need to live vicariously on the afflictions of, you need other people to be in trouble, or you need to have power over them, or you need to see how you're safe but somebody else is not, then you're unripe fruit. You're unripe, you're not ready to be harvested. But the Creator, if you have an affinity for human beings, if you look at everyone as your brother and sister, and you want to tell them something, you want to share something with them that will help them to see a new light, a better way, where you look at everything differently, to where now, instead of rooting for their downfall, you start cheering for them. You start cheering for your global brother and sister to shout and jump for joy, because now you realize it, because you're under the word. Now you want to share. When you have an abundance of something good, I don't care what anybody say, man. You want to share that. Even when I was deceived, I had a lot of bouts of great joy, even when I was deceived, and even when I was doing deity worship with the Hebrew Israelites, because at that time, I saw the bondage of my people, who I call Negroes, and the Hebrew Israelites offered me a way to see how that was going to come to an end. And we were going to get revenge, man. And that blessed my soul so much. It blessed my soul so much, man, to see how we were going to get revenge on the white man, and we were going to kick his ass. And I loved it with all my soul, man. That's why I was good at hating. And it blessed my soul, man. It kept me alive, because the power that the Hebrew Israelites gave me over people, it was incredible. I used to hunt down when I was homeless. Man, I used to hunt down people. I mean, like power people, Jesuits, priests, pastors. I didn't want to deal with the common man. The Hebrew Israelites had given me such power with the word. I mean, already I was a Libra. And Libra, one of the things that they are gifted, the gift they have, is logic. Logic. That's why they make the best lawyers. And man, when I got that understanding that they gave me, I was a force. I could just cut people's heart out with words, and it blessed my soul. Evil darkness sometimes it feels so sweet, man, to just crush people. I mean, to really and that's what people, one thing they hold on to, their last hope of wanting to live life is the Creator God. If you take that away from people, It's really the equivalent of pointing a gun at him and squeezing the trigger right in the temple. That's really the equivalent of what you're doing. And so, really, you're listening to a brother who was a mass murderer. That's me. I was a spiritual mass murderer, man, because I got such a kick out of destroying people. I mean, it tasted sweet, man. You know, it would taste, oh my goodness, man. And then I got set up I got hit with the Third Testament, and that was one body blow. And then I got hit with the OAHSPE, and that was a knockout blow right there. And it was amazing because then I was depressed. I really got depressed, man, because I said, you know what? You've written all these books. I've written like 8 books under the inspiration of the Hebrew Israelites. I said, and all that, you've done nothing but a bunch of damage. You're like the Apostle Paul, man. You're just like him. You did all that. You thought you were doing something. You know, I wrote all them books and I talked a lot about Hebrew Israelite theology is what I did. And didn't know I was crushing people. I was killing them, man. I love to take away their hope because of what had happened to our people. Because if you know the Hebrew Israelites, we talk a lot about slavery, what happened to us. And it's still taken a lot of our brethren captive. They're in captivity to want to pay back. I was just somebody who was delivered. I got lucky. Now, I don't believe in luck. You know what I mean? I don't believe in luck. But I got delivered, or I'd have went right down with my deity. I would have went right down with my deity, man. I mean, the power to destroy people. Oh, man. And I can't say I got lucky, but I got delivered. I got hit with the Third Testament. Then really that was like a standing 8 count. You know, you hit a guy so hard, he's conscious, but he might as well be dead. And that's me. And then I got hit with I was already counted out when the OAHSPE hit me. And then I was really, you know, the old man was gone forever then by that time. So what am I saying in all this? Is that if I would have left the earth during that time, in my mind, now I know a brother will say, well, you know, the creator, he knew your heart, you know, and I don't really listen to that. You know, although I believe it's true that there are brethren who are deceived, they find mercy. I look at the creator, I see it everywhere. But the regret is, I mean, I could have left under deity worship, worshiping an idol. That means praying to a man who used to be on the earth, but who has now become a god or a lord or an angel or whatever the hell you want. And I would have went right into that bondage, from physical bondage to spiritual bondage. From physical bondage to spiritual bondage. Because I believe it when he often says you basically get delivered to your desire. Whatever you want, that's what you go to. I believe that. It makes all the sense in the world to me. That the creator, it's like a child. So, you know, when they're old enough, the parent can't stop them from the, you know, the consequences of whatever it is they desire to do. You know, maybe, you know, she wants to date a man, you know, a young girl. This type of stuff, it happens all the time. And the parents, they say, we wish you wouldn't date him. We wish you would date him. This guy over here, the guy you call a loser. We wish that, because they see something, see? But the girl, she says, no, I like him. You know, he knows how to fire a gun. He likes to wear his pants below his booty. You know, he likes to run in the game. He knows where the best weed is at in the party. He likes to beat the hell out of me every now and then, and I like that. And the parents, they just throw their arms up. They say, what can we do? We can't watch her 24/7. She's 20 years old now. We can't stop her. We got to let her learn on her own. That's the creator God. That's what I have learned. So, you know, we you know, we got an opportunity. We got an opportunity, man. I'm really fortunate in the sense that I didn't get my life taken. I didn't get my life taken. I do believe it's the cause of my current afflictions, the mistakes I've made in the past. So I don't complain, but I give thanks for it. I do believe that the Creator, He works that way, makes you make recompense. I played sports all my life. No reason for me to be in the situation I'm in. But I think that the Creator is saying that you're going to make recompense. You're going to make recompense, man. You let yourself have that evil vibration on you. You're going to have to make a recompense for all that. And I think it's mercy. That's mercy of the Creator. I'd rather get that out the way right now, man, than to have to leave and find out. I don't know. Call me kooky, man, but I'm just sharing with you. I believe that the Creator, He's got me doing what He want me to do, plain and simple. It's easy to me. So what am I doing here? Oh, you know what? The angels, the angels, the angels, angels, angels. Now the angels are. I like to acknowledge them. I like to. I like to acknowledge and give thanks for what they do in my reality. That's all it is. And you can find them in the Essene Gospel Peace, the Teachings of Elect, Book 4. And yesterday it was the angel of the sun. So that would mean today is angel of water. Angel of water, and you don't have to do them in order. It's just the more important thing. Everywhere you read, man, and the reading that I'm going to do, everywhere, man, is always about these types of things. Loving your brother, being thankful, serving others. Really those two tenets, man, just like Jesus Christ said, man. I mean, what did He say? He said something like, what? What did He say? He said something like, loving others or doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, and something like the two greatest laws. Something to do with love. You think of the scripture. You know what I mean? It's a common thing. Why do we have to keep hearing about this? Why is it so hard to learn, man? Why do we got to keep talking about love, 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 serving your brother, doing what's right? And you don't even really need to read. It's something that you already know, man. Why do we got to keep talking about this? That's how thick the human heart is without the commandments. And I was going to read from the second book of Lords, and I mean it's just all about man, he gets propped up, then he falls down, and he gets up again, and he still can't get it. And it's like we need the change that's coming now to make the final do away with the final kingdom, with the final fall of the kingdom of men. And the proof is the things that are coming on the earth now. Whether you follow it, like it or not, we're in a situation now. Now we are in a situation for your behind. And I don't know everything, man, but I do know that we're, I pray, man, and I'm pretty sure in my heart that the Creator has got a plan for the children, the faithless, to just kind of quietly move them out of the way, like when a shepherd calls his sheep, sees a storm coming, starts calling the sheep, and they look up and they just start going to the shepherd. And you try to make other sheep go with you. but you can't do it. They have to come on their own. That's what it's all about, man. Everybody must make the decision on their own. We can't force nobody. But anyway, so if you held to yesterday being um, the uh, the fifth rising after Sabbath, then that would mean today would be the sixth rising after Sabbath. And it says to say these words. So we're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. We're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. Okay, ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. And then we read, and you will feel like the rushing current of the river. The power of the angel of water enter your blood, and like the rivulets of the stream, send the power of the earthly mother through your blood to all parts of your body. And it shall be for healing, for the power of the angel of water is very great. And when you speak to her, she will send her power wherever you command. For when the angels of God dwell within the Son of Man, are all things possible, you know. And I was thinking of something today. Let me see. So the angel of water is for today, then that would mean the angel of love for this evening. I was thinking of something. You know, if you've ever had parents, then there must be a creator. You know what I mean? Because you just go back and back. You know, you come from your parents. They came from the grandparents. They came from great grandparents. They came from great. You know what I mean? And then you just go back, and that leads you to Creator, because Creator is the source, and that's like a way of proving that the Creator exists. If you think about it, and then if you can conclude that the Creator exists, if you can just believe it, now you get started on a path of learning. And then you let your spirit, you let your sincere spirit take over. You know, you start asking all kinds of questions, and there are certainly answers out there that will resonate with your spirit. And I think the trouble a lot of young brethren and sisters fall into. Now, it's a double-edged sword, but I think as you grow, you're going to force your desire is going to become more and more to be authentic. Like what Brother Cosman was saying the other day. I love what he said. It's like we're going to drive ourselves to be who we are. You can't be me. I can't be you. We might as well learn what we really are. Do you want somebody that's fake to be your spouse? They put on a front instead of being their authentic self. I think that the Creator, he really the same way. And we're in such a reality where we put a lot of layers on. We show the world a whole bunch of different people, not everybody, but I think a lot of people, and this is like a coping device. You know, maybe you deal with a person and they're prone to evil. So you put on this tough exterior that's not really you in order to keep them off of you. And then you do that for so long, that becomes a part of your illusion. And you know what I mean? Our way of dealing with people. And I think the Creator, what he does is he sees that, these layers that we put on ourselves, and he whittles us down by taking off the exterior. So then we come to ourselves, our real authentic self, taking off those layers of things that we put on ourselves in order to deal with the world around you. Because when you learn, you see that he talks to you about things in your soul that you cannot deny. And that's what breaks down the layers around you, if you know what I mean. So this evening, fifth evening after Sabbath, it says, say these words. So we're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. Angel of love, descend on one or 3 times together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Angel of love, descend on me and fill with love all my feelings. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of love, descend on me and fill with love all my feelings. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Angel of love, descend on me with all my feelings. And we read, for it is by love that the Heavenly Father and earthly mother and the Son of Man become one. Now, you got to take this with a grain of salt, because this sounds like Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. So I'm going to say this differently. I'll say, and you just couch it in a way that's plain thankful that there is something called love, and it's a vibration that we have been given, must come from the Creator ultimately. And you just figure out your own way, really, to say thanks. You know what I mean? You don't have to follow a formula. It's really just a way for us to remind us to be thankful. Just be thankful, man. Don't try to, you know what I mean? Just don't try to make a doctrine out of it, or, just be thankful. It says, descend on me and fill with love all my feelings. For it is by love that the Heavenly Father works through everybody, and all of us become one. Love is eternal. Love is stronger than death. And every night should the sunlight bathe in the holy water of the angel of love, that with the morning he may baptize the sons of men with kind deeds and gentle words. For when the heart of the sun of light is bathed in love, only kind and gentle words speak forth. All right, good enough. So those are the angels of daytime and evening. So let's look at I have another ministry that I like to try to share with people, and room on Facebook where I just try to, redeem. You know what? I remember one time this guy, he said, when I was in the cult, now something he said was true. He said, when I was Curtis, back when I was Curtis, he said, Kurt, schedule out sin, meaning an idle mind is the devil's playground, And there was a lot of wisdom in that. He said, schedule out sin, because if you idle, you have a lot of idle time, that's where those thoughts come in, all kinds of problems with them. Start thinking things, start doing things, and it seemed like you automatically just start thinking, why is it that we automatically, Satan, start listening to Satan, this person did me that way. I remember him from 50 years ago. I remember what she said. Remember that time they said that to me, and that's the way people are. That's the way we really are, So one thing I like to do, I like to try to think of ministries so it can keep your mind off of idle time. Because remember, we did that video on the earthbound vortex. The vortex is not only what created the earth, but it's a reality that is like a vortex within a vortex. I'm sure there are probably many vortexes within a vortex where it pulls you down, is what I'm trying to say. Pulls you down. It has a downward vibration on it. Down, down, down. It's harder to create the upward vibration than the downward vibration. That's part of our battle right there. Hey, Elijah. Hey, brother. Asenath. It's good to see you, brethren. Good to see you. Let me see. I'm in the chat now, so let me read that real quick. We see Asenath says, let me see. Let me show her comment. Um, let me see. Let me do a little dance on the screen here. Okay, is something wrong? How come her comment is not showing up? Now, what kind of problem is this? Oh, it is showing up. Okay. All right. Good enough. Yeah, let's see. You say because we're so saturated with satanic infiltration that we're like children needing constant correction. Yeah, yeah, that's the truth, man. That's the truth, you know. That's a terrible thing, you know. I mean, I was reading in the OAHSPE and it was talking about in one place where the angels were saying to the creator, but it was like they were saying by the time we raise these up, that it's 100 others that's done grown up, you know. You know, it's like because they fighting against the darkness, and you know the weeds, horticulturally speaking, grow way faster than the flowers, and it's the same way in our reality, you know. And so it's like, man, the big picture is all over the place. We are always going to have to struggle, the faithists, to follow that upward vortex, I call it the upward. We have creation abilities, and when we make our minds up to elevate, do you know we create a vortex? And all you got to do is just keep feeding it. Just keep feeding it, man. Just keep feeding it. You know, get down into a little routine because that vortex, you keep feeding it, and it's going to, you're creating, you're saving yourself, really. If you can just fight that downward vortex, just fight it, man. You know, you don't have to learn every you know um you don't have to be anybody else. Just be yourself, you know, and sincerity and truth. That's all you have to be. You can't, you know, I read in the OAHSPE or what was it, Radiance anthology. I was reading that. It said that you all have gifts that only you can do. You know that? Did you know that? All of you. You have something that you can do. You can put a certain type of flavor on the truth that nobody else can do it. See, they may know more than you. Believe me, I know that, you know. I count like the vast majority of brethren know more than I do, you know, but I don't care. I just keep on. I just make sure I keep going. The important thing is that I keep going and be willing to learn, be willing to learn, and then just spit out what you can't, what you don't receive. Just spit it out. You don't have to hate anybody, you know, because they think differently. They there to get you, get your upward vortex going, you know. They there to help you, you know, if they will share some of their fruit to get you spinning that vortex where you can save yourself by elevating among that downward pressure that everybody is under. Downward pressure, you know, you got to wonder, why don't people elevate? I mean, some people, they do, they get on that elevation when they're real young. They overcome the world at an early age. There are most people who don't overcome the world. The downward push, downward pressure, can't overcome it, man. Too strong, you know. Gonna have to wait for another time. Maybe you have to learn it when you cross over. Learn it in the spirit rather than the flesh, you know. But there is such a thing as saving yourself. Eventually, we're gonna have to. We got to. It's us, according to the OAHSPE, that have got to learn. We have got to learn, and the Creator, He gives us all the benefit. That's what it's all about. But you have to save yourself. It's like how a baby has to learn to walk. It'll just learn how to do it, you know. But anyway, my room on Facebook, I have a food ministry where I can be contacted if brother or sister needs help, food ministry, where I love to, if you know somebody, I certainly, I won't run. I will not run, man. You know, when it comes to the opportunity to help somebody. And then I've lately been putting up another link on my videos. This place right here, it just was on my spirit the other day to share it, start sharing it. I used to go down there and get something to eat when I was homeless. And, you know, to be honest, man, that food was pretty good. That was pretty good, man. You know, and it's just a place where you feel benevolent or wherever. You know, I'm sure there are places around you. It's a good way, man, to let your light shine, man. And you know what? I recommend, I mean, well, the OAHSPE, it says the same thing. Being around poor people, people who ain't got nothing, I'm telling you, man, that will humble you. It will break, it will make you, it will scrape off some of the hard-heartedness that we are vexed with. It'll help scrape some of that, you know what, off. When you get around people, I'm telling you, man, you know, it'll bless your soul. It will soften you up, make you full of compassion, empathy, especially when you see children, man, you know, at places like this. That's where Jehovah is. I'm convinced, I don't care what anybody say, Jehovah is in this place right here. If you want to see what he looked like, come out here to San Francisco. I'll take you down there, all right? And I'll show you Jehovah to your face, all right? I know exactly where to go. So that's a good place. Make a note of it. You can, whenever you feel the urge, inspiration, you can share your resources. You know, you can share your resources. So anyway, that's enough of that. Let me what do I want to do now? Why not? Why don't we do the reading? Why don't we just go to the reading now? That's a good idea. We just go to the reading now. This reading is going to be knocked out, man. Oh, I got to share the screen. I've been doing pretty good sharing the screen. It means I'm getting used to the software. So let's share the screen. Yeah, so we getting ready to go to war. We actually getting ready to see bombs start flying. We actually getting ready to see that. See, now a lot of people are going to run to the place where they should be running from. People going to be running right to the church. Now, you know how people do, right? As soon as hostilities break out between nations, the first place they run to, right? Where? The church. They run right to, that's the first place. They run right to the church. Everybody, it's a big harvest for the beast kingdom. They run right to the church. I was listening to a video today where they were talking about the war, what's going on, what just lit off today. I mean, bombs flying as of today. Bombs flying. And I was reading the reports where they were making a beeline for the store, man. You know, they were buying up resources, buying generators, gasoline, you know, preparing for what they know is inevitable. That's what people do. They run when they see when it's too late. Then they get up and they start doing something. So I named the title of the video Queries of the Soul. Queries of the Soul. And basically it's from the Radiance anthology. And it is a hell of a reading, man. You brethren, this is going to bless you. So may the Heavenly Father bless the reading of his word. It says, let me make sure. I'm sharing, right? I am sharing the screen, right? Yeah, I am. Okay, it says, is it true that each of you, may the Heavenly Father bless the reading of his word. It says, is it true that each of you has, it is true that each of you has a definite work to accomplish, which no other member of the council, however willing, can do for you. The council, the heavenly council, the spiritual council, made up of gods, lords, and angels. It said nothing they can do for you. They can't do anything for you for the work that you have to do, even if they wanted to. Now they can help you. What, you ask? What, you ask, is my work. Primarily the work of all of you is to grow. The greater your growth, the greater will be your awareness of your roles, and the closer the knot which links you with light. Many of you are more aware of the darkness than of the crowning glory which surrounds you. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? More negative than positive, See the cup half empty all the time, not knowing that you're one step away from going into a greater reality. It could be greater crowning glory. Faith they see it. They know that. That's the secret of their, they know they headed for glory. They know it. How can we grow, you chorus? The answer to this simple question is spoken in many tongues to many people. When you love fully and unselfishly, you add inches to your stature. When you give fully and unselfishly, you express your godhood. When the innermost desire of your heart is to bring gladness to others, you are on the right road, brother. When you sense the desire to work with the faculties which each of you are divinely endowed, see, there it is. Each of you are divinely endowed. Now, when you ask me, that's why I look at your sign. I look at people's signs. I know the world, they don't like you to talk about that. They don't understand it. They say it's witchcraft. But I used to believe it. So I denied my gift for a long time until I really pretty much got forced to share what I knew about. As long as I was in sincerity, as long as I was under the vibration of sincerity and truth, you shouldn't be bound to other people's ignorance, is basically what I was, If you are bound to other people's ignorance, then you cannot be yourself. And if you are in ignorance or you are doing harm, then the Creator is certainly going to correct you. You're going to receive a correction. And so let me get back. That's why I love to talk about other people. I was saying there, I love to understand what their vibration is, their sign, so that I can minister greater. I can minister greater to them to bless them. Like here, it says that each of you are divinely endowed. It says you are on the right one. So when you sense the desire to work with the faculties which each of you are divinely endowed, without any furtive glance at another's gifts or any secret longing that you might be doing the work of another, you are fulfilling your part. Your part. Let me see. Dave says, just like the subject of the video I posted on your page, 20 minutes before you StreamYard. Okay, so you got something in the room you posted a video link to? Okay. It says, this is not easy. This is not easy. You are children of earth, cradled in a world of mindness. We are all well aware of all the pitfalls. If your infant souls knew the full measure of the task you might wail, I cannot. In other words, if we saw the immensity of what we were sent here to do, we might rebel. We might buck up. I remember thinking at one time, man, if I'd have known that I was going to go down the path that I had to go down that I'm going down, if you would have told me before, I don't think I would have chose it. I don't think I would have chose it, man. Not being able to find a wife, not being able to have children, having to be as lonely for as long as I have been, by choice. If you'd have told me that, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. So you got to love the Creator, because He just kind of one foot in front of the other. He just don't give it to you all at once. He just kind of walk you one day at a time. And then you look back and you halfway up the mountain. That's how it go. I think that what it's saying here is that, if He had told you what your path was going to be, would you rather still have been on that path looking back? Would you have wanted a softer way? And, I have to tell you, and my life hasn't been nearly the struggle that I've heard other people share. But you have to give thanks and praise, honor, and glory to the Creator, because He don't give it to you all at once. It's better that way. You don't need to know what's ahead of you. It's better to just walk with your head down, and just keep going, all right? Because just like it says here, we would say this is not easy, meaning what we have to do, the work that we have to do while we're here on earth, fulfilling our part. It says this is not easy. You are children of earth, meaning we're inclined. We are inclined to vibrate with the things of the earth. You see the earth around you, don't you? I mean, earthly values are far more desired than spiritual values, because the spiritual values are service to others, loving your brethren, doing for your brethren, being your brother's keeper. Now, if the world find that out about you, brother, you're going to be what they call a sucker, and they will take everything you have. Sucker, So you got to be wise as serpents. It says, this is not easy. You are children of earth, cradled in a world of mindness. Me, mine. I remember one time, to digress for a second, I went to downtown San Francisco, right? And I went down there because they have chessboards set up. You can play anybody. You pay $1. That's where a lot of homeless guys make money. They got chessboards set up, 2 chairs and a table. Pay them $1. You have a game. They beat the hell out of you. You play them again. They beat the hell out of you even worse. And then I remember one time I got $1 out to play another game, and I dropped it, right? And a homeless woman who was right behind me, I just dropped it. I reached out to pick it up. She said, Mom. In the world, you drop something. The first one that says mine, it's theirs, even if it's yours. Now, as a faithist, if I was a faithist, and looking at her, in our kingdom, a faithist would not only give her that $1 that was not hers, but you give it to her, he would give her more. A faithist would say, hey, you dropped something behind you, and then you throw a $10 bill behind her. Oh yeah, I did drop that, See, empathy, man, compassion. And if I probably dropped a 10 behind her, I might have won the damn game, you know? See? But that's where we live. That's the terrible shame, man. Minus. It says, you are children of the earth, cradled in a world of minus. Mine, mine, mine. Grabby, grab, grab. It says, we are all well aware of all the pitfalls. If your infant souls knew the full measure of the task, you might wail, I cannot. If we knew the full measure of the task ahead of us, we would say, I can't do that, you know? That is why the Father in his infinite wisdom reveals unto you only what is to be done each day. See, each day, you know, each day, one day at a time, you know. But where are we going, you ask? And when will we arrive? Oh, your destiny is on the road of life. Along each path are men and women and children who have need of the light you bear. You bear it. See? They have need of your individuality. You know that? That's what it's saying. See? You are the only one who can do the things you do perfectly, you know? You know, people, sometimes you just like being around people because of what comes off of them. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is, man. You know, it's something particular about, I think that's what makes people like each other. It's something particular about that person that you just like. You just like it, you know? It says lift them, love them, laugh with them, teach them how to dance. Now, that's my brother to a T right there. My brother who comes in the room every now and then. I remember when he was younger and he could dance so good. I remember my dad saying that somebody wanted to sign him to some type of contract or something. He might be in the room now. He'll come in and he'll tell you if he wants to. Because he could dance. I mean, he could dance for your behind. He said, laugh with them, teach them how to dance. Don't you know in the spiritual they got dance halls? Did you know that? Did y'all know that? Did you know that they got dance hall? Oh, see, there he is. There he is, my brother. Yeah. Am I right, bro? Remember when we were young and then somebody approached you or they approached Pops and they wanted to hook you up some type of way to dance, or do you remember that? Maybe you don't remember, but I remember. You don't remember? Do you remember that? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that. And then it says, yeah, and they're in the to open for Gladys Knight in the Pips. Yeah. See, my brother was a star, man, you know? Yeah. Yep. I remember that night. And then let me see. So it says, and teach them how to dance, sing praises to the great God. It says, how can we do this when our hearts are heavy and we are weighed down by darkness? You ask. Our answer is this. If a man could swim the ocean with ease, what challenge would it offer? So let me go to part 2 now. If a man could swim the ocean with ease, what challenge would it offer? So let's go to part 2. If a man could swim the ocean with ease, what challenge would it offer? So let me set it up. This is the last part. Let me see. If a man could swim the ocean with ease, What challenge would it offer? It's too large. If a man could swim the ocean with ease, what challenge would it offer? It said, you are one with many. You have the help of many souls unseen. All are working together in service to the Almighty, raising the consciousness of Earth's people into a new state of divine attunement and oneness. All right. So that's the queries of the soul. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from the Radiance anthology. I'm going to read the part that, let me see, the part that's called Help is Near. Help is near. So I'm going to read that now. Let me set it up, and I'm going to read that. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to see if I can open it up for a time of conversation. If you brethren want to share anything on what I just read, feel free. I'll give it about a minute or so, see if anybody want to share anything. And if not, I'm going to just go on with the reading. I'm going to read a different part. It's called Help is Near. Help is near. All right. So I'm looking at the chat, seeing if y'all want to share anything. It could be anything at all. You don't have to say anything about what I read or anything. You know, if you want me to continue reading, I'll do that too. It's fun. Let me see. ASNAP says, or you could have had those things and realized you would have preferred to be in this work instead. Okay, I know what part you're referring to. Well, I think it's an individual thing. I mean, it sounds like what the Creator do is he don't tell you the glory of what you have to go through. So now I could be wrong. You know, in the Bible it says that Moses, he forsook the privilege of Egypt. He forsook it because of the glory he saw. It says that he forsook the pleasures of Egypt, I think he said. Thank you, Dave. Okay. I'm just trying to open it up, see if any of y'all want to say anything. I'm just giving it a little time. I'm gonna keep reading now. I just want to see if anybody want to say anything. So I think that the Creator had told me, okay, Yaquab, this is what I'm gonna put you through. You know, I'm not gonna give you a girlfriend. I mean, I had girlfriends, okay, but I'm just not gonna give you anybody. I'm not gonna let you get married. I'm not gonna let you have children. I'm going to make you homeless. I'm gonna take your heart away for anything the world would have to offer you. And you're gonna be confused for a long time before you finally hit your stride. And then I'm gonna bring you home. And then he never tell you, well, I mean, naturally you want to know, well, what's in it for me? What and then what? You know, get to the good part, you know. And the Creator say, nope, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you. See? Now, if that had been my case, I would have said, well, no deal, man. No deal. No deal. You mean nobody to go to the prom with? My spirit is saying, Yaquab, don't do it. Don't tell the story. Hey, Chuck. Her name was Michelle Calhoun. You remember Michelle Calhoun? Michelle Calhoun, you might remember her, right? She went to the prom with John Washington. Now, don't tell John this because he's still on my friends list. You know, he looked like a toad, right? I had to get it out, man. I'm sorry. I think I'm jealous of him. I like John, man. Everybody liked him. I'm just, but she went with him, right? Now, the day I asked her to go with me to the prom, no, I can't. That's too mean. Ace and have to kill me if I said what I'm getting ready to say. I ain't gonna say it. She'll kill me, man. I can't. I can't say it. But if the creator told me, hey, what I'm gonna have to go through, what you got to go through, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know if I would have went for that. You never thought of her. You might not have known her, or maybe you did, but just. But I think if the creator had told me, what I was going to have to go through, might be the same with other brothers too. You might have had second thoughts about. I mean, we do have free will, and I think that even before we came into this reality, I tend to think that. Oh, you thought she was nice looking? Yeah, she was. She was very pretty. But she had dandruff in her hair. Now, there, I said it. I know I shouldn't have said it, man. Oh, I was dying not to say it. I was dying not to say it. Heck, she turned me down, so I had to get her back some type of way. All right, let me stop, man. I'm already in trouble. But my whole point was that the question is like, if you had known what you was going to go through in order for, and if the creator had told you, it's like, would you have chosen to go down the path that you thought? I mean, would you have chosen to go down that path? You know what I'm saying? And even right now, me knowing what I know and the plight and the fate of the, fate this brethren and what the will of the creator is, looking back, I just don't know, man. The ups and the downs and the embarrassments and the bad times, and I just don't know if anybody would agree to it. I mean, I just don't know, man. That's a hard question to answer. And now when you read, you see that the creator, he says things like the blessing. He talks about places that you just can't imagine. We can't even imagine, but he takes you through it. He takes you through one day at a time, he said. Because, sometimes things might be too much on you. So anyway, all right, let me keep going. This is from the Radiance anthology, and it's called Help is Near. Help is Near. And now remember, from what I understand, Radiance anthology is angel inspired. It's kind of like a diary that the angels have sat down and wrote for your benefit, to bring you to faith and understanding, to help you. It's a big, thick book, man. It's anointed with angel understanding. Angel understanding. So let's go ahead with the reading. Let me see. Dave says, he says, Aisha, let's show it. Aisha gave up the sun city of OAHSPE, took up a beggar's bowl and followed Zarathustra. And the OAHSPE, it talks about that too. It talks about one of the requirements for entrance into this certain realm in the spiritual. It talked about the qualification was having to spend a year with the poorest of the poor. The poorest of the poor, and that was required for entrance into this place where you complete that mission and you dwell in a spiritual realm, which is nothing but happiness and something, just happiness and peace forever, it said. forever. Forever. Now, that's bound to make you think, does that mean that there's some, anything other than happiness and peace and spiritual? Is this like, isn't that what it is for isn't the spiritual realm all happiness, all peace, forever and ever? When you read the OAHSPE, you read about the gods, lords, and angels. You read about, the only time they get vexed is with dealing with mortals. But it's like the spiritual realm, you hear a bunch of singing, a bunch of dancing, a bunch of praising, I don't know, I don't know what that realm is saying, the one where you're required to spend a year with the poorest of the poor. So, all right, let's go ahead with the reading. This is called Help is Near. It says, many voices rise up from the earth, crying out in despair. Oh, God, God. The Creator is answering the call through mighty, high-raised beings of light and love. No call goes unanswered. Help is being given to the people of earth. God is ever present. And, think of it again, man. The Creator. A lot of people, they struggle believing in God, And again, one of the ways you can go back is if you were born, you had parents. They were your creator. And then your parents had creators. And then your great, you just go back. It leads you. That's one of the arguments that leads you back to the Creator. As the Creator is self-created. It's oxymoronic, but that's the only way he can be described. He created himself. Anyway, it says, help is being given to the people of the earth. God is ever present. He is with you now. You are part of his being. You have been shutting him out by believing he is above and beyond you. He speaks in your soul. He animates your being. He is your breath, your heartbeat, the energy and intelligence of your being. Identify yourself with him. Cultivate awareness of his presence in yourself and in every living thing. Know that you can create him as you get control of your thoughts. Beautify your thoughts and thus lift yourself up out of darkness and despair. You are a co-creator with the Almighty, determined to serve the All-Highest by expressing light and love, peace and goodwill. You can be an agent of the Almighty here on earth by helping others. As you persist in your creative efforts, everything will begin to work for you. You are your own salvation, but not in, I have to go to the next chapter, but you are your own salvation, but let me see, I'm going to move this over here somewhere. It says, you are your own salvation, but not in, I think it's going to say isolation. I got to go to the next part. But not in the Creator's light within you. The Creator's light within you will give you the answers you need. I think that's the second part. To help is near. See, here's help is near. Oh, okay, you are your own creation, wait a minute. You are your own salvation. You are one with many. You have the help. Let me see. Can you see that? Yeah. You have the help of many souls unseen. Isn't that something? We have the help of many souls unseen. It says all are working together in service to the Almighty. All are working together in service to the Almighty. All of us are working together, raising the consciousness of Earth's people into a new state of a divine attunement and oneness. That's what you brethren are doing. Every time we talk about it, every time we share, every time they look at us, every time, we are being used in ways that we do not even know. Basically, is what it's saying here. And we might not see the fruit now, but we will. We're still kind of in that embryonic stage. We're in the cosmic era, and you brethren can see things picking up. You can see the disillusionment, or the dissolving of the present. You can see it. It's going to be like childbirth, it seems like, though. It's going to be like childbirth. It's going to be tough, man. Let me see. Asenat says, Brother Yakov, do a reading in the book of the prayers of Teo. Teo? Is that the OAHSPE? You see, Teo. Te? Te. Book of Te. Te. That's Te. It must be Te. Let's see. Te. Book of Te. Do a reading in the book of Te. Let me see. Now, how am I going to bring this up? Book of Te. Book of Te. All right. Book of Te. Te's prayer. Is it Te's prayer or book of Te? Asenat. Is it Te's prayer? Book of the prayers of Te. Okay, yeah. Te's prayer. All right. May the Heavenly Father bless the reading of this word. Te's prayer. Share this tab. All right. It says, chapter 1, Te's prayer. Jehovah, the Creator, said, I blow my breath upon the planet and man comes forth. Let me make it bigger. Make the words bigger. See if I can make the words a little bigger. One more time. All right. It says, Jehovah the Creator said, I blow my breath upon a planet, and man comes forth inquiring, who am I? What is my destiny? Oh, this is a good book. This is good. Verse 2. So I send an elder brother of man to teach him and show him the light. Elder brother of man. God said, verse 3, behold me, O man, I am an elder brother. I have passed through death and found the glory of the unseen worlds. Verse 4, Jehovah gave to me, your God, dominion over the earth and her heavens. You see, there's a phrase right there that a faithless will pick up on right away. Jehovah is mentioned, and he says, and the God is saying that this is where he gets his dominion from. He got it from Jehovah, meaning the two are not the same. It's important to pick that up. Here is a God that is saying something is greater than him. Jehovah. It said, Jehovah gave to me, your God, dominion over the earth and her heavens. Man said, verse 5, man said, I have found truth in corporal physicality. I know I live, that trees grow and die. This is true knowledge. Let me read it over again. It says, man said, I have found truth in corporal, which is physicality. I know I live, that trees grow and die. This is true knowledge. Give me truth regarding the unseen in a way that I can prove it's truth. Give me truth regarding the unseen in a way that I can prove it's true. give me truth regarding the unseen, and the way that I can prove its truth is phrased in the form of a question. I don't know how to phrase it in a question. It says, verse 6, and in the stirring up of man's soul, Jehovah spoke through his sons and daughters. His voice came up out of the marsh and down from the heavens above, and the children of men heard and saw and rose up because of the Spirit in them. Because of the Spirit in them. It says, they responded to him who is almighty, and their voices were called Te. Because as it is the universal word of all children born, so it represents the universal prayer of man, humankind. So Te is the highest form of mankind, humankind, mankind. Te is listed as one of the 9 entities, too, of Jehovah. The 9 entities, remember, Cosman, Te, Sifa. I can't name them all right now, I forget, but they're listed as, they're like 9 realities of mortals. So when you see the word Te, it's like saying, then the highest form of mankind said this or, this or that. Well, it says, Te said, reveal, O Father, give me light. I see the wide earth, the sun, the moon, and stars, but the great vault of heaven appears to be just an empty sky. Where is the dwelling place of the dead and the place of the souls of men? Verse 8, it says, in time past, you have quickened seers and prophets, and through them lifted up your children and proclaimed other worlds. Am I less than worthy? Am I less worthy than those of past ages? All the while, my forefathers and now I have abided by your mighty presence. Verse 9, by your own hand you have quickened my consciousness to be dissatisfied with the old revelations and made me peer deeper into the cause and place of things, and to desire further light from your holy place. By your own hand, meaning you created us to be this way, where we're going to ask questions. We're going to want to know and be elevated in our consciousness. You were the one that created us this way, that we wouldn't be able to be satisfied with the old tradition and ways. We was going to need to grow. You created us this way. You made me peer deeper into the cause and place of things, talking to the Jehovah, and to desire further light from your holy place. It says, by your power, verse 10, by your power, my manhood, womanhood has been raised up. Only by your power and wisdom will I be appeased. Verse 11, when I was a child, I believed as a child because it was told to me, but now that I am grown, I desire to know who your prophets were and how they attained their gifts and wisdom of words. These are some deep questions, man. Verse 12, the cosmogony you taught in ancient times was sufficient for that day. But now I am raised up by you to receive comprehensive knowledge of the sun, the stars, and other worlds, and their travel in your great firmament. So you look at the footnotes over here. The great firmament is the world of space between the stars and the planets. And I didn't read the other footnotes, but I'll show them to you. You can stop the video. And then you can look at the reading and see what it's talking about here. It says that when OAHSPE uses the word man, as here, it refers to the human personage, whether male or female, and can also refer to the race of humankind. It says, this generic meaning of man is occasionally reinforced by the use of parentheses as in your son, your daughter. In those instances where OAHSPE uses man, he, him, his, to mean male human only, the context makes it clear. Okay, so here are the other footnotes. I didn't read them. You can read these. Okay. All right. So let's go on. It says, verse 13, and now I cry out to you, where is the promised heaven? Where is the proof of immortal life? By you I was quickened into life and made conscious that I am. To you I come in the majesty you made me. You, my Father. By you I was made to determine all, to sift all things to the bottom. In you I know that there is capacity to encompass all my holy desires and answer me. Verse 14. Give me of your light, O Father. When I was a child, I called to you as a child. Now I call out in the manhood, womanhood you have bestowed upon me. I will know your Lord's, God's, Savior's, and your promised heaven. Verse 15. I have scaled the mountain, the countless corporal worlds traveling in the eternal sea of space. Speak of your handiwork. I perceive that all the stars in heaven would not fill the hollow of your hand, that truly your breath moves the universe. The glory of your works has inspired me with fervor to come to your mighty home. Speak, O Jehovah, you alone can satisfy this soaring spirit that sprang from you, inspired. Give me light, O Father. Verse 17. I have encompassed the earth and bridged its nations with the simulative words. Let's see what that means. Let's read that footnote. It says words of amity and goodwill that help bring about harmony, fellowship, peace, and unity, being welcoming and congenial. It says, verse 17, I have encompassed the earth and bridged its nations with assimilative words. Again, these are words of amity, goodwill that help bring about harmony, fellowship, peace, and unity, being welcoming and congenial. It says, my geography is finished. Oh, give me a book of heaven. I have burrowed deep in corporal, which is physical knowledge, and have seen the drift of all on the earth. Where is the spirit world, land of the dead? Oh, give me light. Chapter 2, Tay's prayer. It says, verse 1, Jehovah heard Tay's prayer and answered him, saying, he said, let the angels of heaven go down to the earth. My blessed son calls to me in wisdom and truth. Calls Tay, my blessed son. Tay, son, daughter. And the angels of heaven descended to the earth, for it was in the early days of Danha, the time of great spiritual light, in the firmament of heaven, and the angels manifested and proved it. They came to prove to him the immortal life of man. So now we're going to read, they're going to start proving it. The immortal life of man. Our reality after this one. The angels now are going to prove it. And then verse 2, Jehovah said, let this day be the beginning of the reign of Cosmic, the new era now upon us. For it is the beginning of the wisdom of earth joined with the wisdom of heaven in my name. The beginning of the wisdom of earth joined with the wisdom of heaven. And that's the time we're in right now. The joining of the spiritual with the physical. Let me see. The license says, yes, Tay's prayer is a beautiful book. Yeah, I like it. It's like we are talking to Jehovah. Basically, is what it is. It's like us talking to Jehovah. That's what this book is. It says, Tay said, yet not even half is answered, O my Father in heaven. Since you have proved the immortal life, you have stirred me to my soul's foundation. Where do these inhabitants of the unseen come from? Where lies this heavenly footstool of your majesty? Verse 4, if when I am dead, I shall see the place, is the germ of that sight now already in me? How have I made that I see, but do not see this? Hear, but do not hear this? If I am now dead to that which is to be, will I not then be dead to what is here now? Give me light, O Father. Man, these are some pretty good questions, man. You might want to see the footnotes. So let me do the footnotes. Just go back over and, read the footnotes. Stretch it a little bit more so you can see the footnotes. for chapter 2. You make it a little bit less screen. Can't see the full screen. All right, so check out the footnotes there. It says, verse 5, chapter 2, verse 5. Joby said, I gave a corporal body to man so that he could learn corporal things. He gave him a physical body so he could learn physical things. But I made death so that he could rise in spirit as an angel and inhabit my Etherian worlds. See, that's what makes you want to shout. That's why faith is, we look forward to leaving. We look forward, it's like bittersweet, because we know here, when we in the flesh, we got an opportunity. It's an opportunity. But when you leave, I mean, it's like really your life just begins. It's really just beginning then. And it says, let me see. A-Snatch, he says, this book is found on the other book you read. Yeah, I read from the Radiance anthology. She said this book expounds on it. Yeah, they do go nice with one another. OAHSPE Bible and Radiance anthology, they go pretty sweet with one another. They are pretty sweet together, man. It says, Joby said, I gave a corporal body to man so that he could learn corporal or physical things. I gave a physical body to man so he could learn physical things. But I made death so that he could rise in his spirit as an angel and inhabit my Etherian world. Now, Etherian worlds over here, we got to look at a footnote for that. It says Etherian worlds are heavenly worlds existing in the highest heaven to the corporal eye, peering up into the vastness of interstellar space. It looks mostly empty, but to the spiritual eye, it is filled with innumerable worlds, wondrous, awe-inspiring, full of beauty and joy, intangible, not perceived, subtle. When you look at it in faith, you look up, it's nothing but a bunch of billion, trillion worlds filled with wondrous, awe-inspiring, look at it, full of beauty and joy. You got to believe it, man. Believe it. Verse 6, Tay said, you made both the seen and the unseen. Are they at war or in harmony? My corporal body is made of earth, flesh, and stone, minerals and bone, and water. Is the spiritual body then not made of air, oxygen, and imperceptible dust? The angels you have sent have feet and legs. Why? That's a pretty good question, man. This is really a good question. Do they walk on air or wade through it? They have no wings. They cannot fly. They say they do. They say they have not seen the illustrious angels who have long been dead. Must I also go to the spirit world, heaven, simply to meet my neighbors and never salute the wise of ancient days? Give me light, O Jehovah. Verse 8, it says, something within me makes me anticipate the light and glory of what I have not seen. And that's something within me makes me anticipate the light and glory of what I have not seen. But I must have it tangible and demonstrable, the pure truth. He's talking like us, man. We got something in us. And it makes us anticipate the light and glory of what we have not seen. But he's got a driving desire to see it in a way that his carnal mind can understand it. And he calls it the pure truth. And so verse 9 says, have you not given me an inquiring spirit so that I must prove all things to my own satisfaction? How and when then, O Jehovah, shall I find growth for mine own members, so that I can know the spirit worlds and its inhabitants? I will not be appeased by merely seeing the spirits of the dead or by their testimony. They may call themselves God, Christ, Buddha, Brahma, Allah, Confucius, or Jesus. Yet I will not rest on them or their word. I will put forward my plea to you only, O Jehovah. I am your son, your daughter. Now, he ain't going to be satisfied with anything less than what comes from Jehovah. He says, verse 10, you have quickened me to know things by my own knowledge. And though it is told me, thus said the Lord your God, yet will I raise my voice ever before them. And though a spirit says, I am your Jehovah, believe me, I will deny him. I will deny him. He says, verse 11, for you have quickened me to rise up above the tales of the ancients and to demand knowledge from your throne. By you, my soul is moved to this magnificence, and only your magnificence can satisfy your daughter, your son. Verse 12, as to the spirits of the dead, I desire to know their dwelling places, how they live, how they travel, their manner of growth, their food and clothes, how they spend their time, whether they labor or live idly, and above all, to what extent and in what way their corporal lives affected their spiritual happiness in heaven. That's a good question right there. That's a pretty damn good question right there. See there? Look at that. He says he wants to know what way our physical lives affected our spiritual happiness in heaven. Ain't that a good question? Man, that is a pretty good question. I want to know that. I think I already know, but I don't know fully. But I want to hear the answer to that one. He says, verse 13, I desire to know too how it was with the ancients. Make clear, O Jehovah, the heavens and ways of my forefathers, for I would apply your lessons wisely. The wisdom of the day I would weigh against the crucible of the past and set my star to the future well prepared. Verse 14, what then, O Father, is your judgment upon the world today? For I desire to know how to live so that tomorrow may prove an everlasting glory. Yeah, I want to take advantage of the day, man. You know, if what I do here affects my spirituality, then I want to know what to do so I can blow it out in the spiritual. I don't want to waste 1 second. I want all that I'm supposed to be able to have. I want it all. I want it all, man. You know, why do I need to settle for less? I want it all. If you're telling me you headed for glory, you follow me, I want to blow it out, man. That means death to self, service to others. It says, make plain the ways of heaven and earth. Oh, my creator, I would know your creation so that my just place in your wide universe may become known to me. He wants to know where he's going. Verse 15, give me light, O Father, not by word of mouth. I will have my members quickened so that I can comprehend with them myself. He wants a vision, man. He wants a manifestation. He wants a revelation. Verse 16, then Jehovah, the Creator, spoke, saying, to all men and women, I gave 2 senses. I love this. Corporal and spirit, which is ES. And the time of Cephas now finished. Cephas means enforced culture. See, over here, but no. Enforced culture. The Creator spoke, saying, to all men and women, I gave 2 senses. Physical and spiritual. Listed here as corporal and S. It says in the time of Cephas, enforced culture, now finished. It says, I allotted time for man to mature, corporal, spiritual, materiality. But now the time of confidence come, the new era, and man shall mature, spirit and spirituality. See, the physical and the spiritual in the cosmic era are going to be brought together. It's going to be balance. Then it's going to the higher chakras and the lower chakras are going to be balanced. It's not going to be one ruling over the other, more physical than spiritual, more spiritual than physical, because that is an imbalance. That's an imbalance from which comes all kinds of problems like we see them today. Imbalance, either in physical or spiritual. We're not balancing them. It says, verse 17, it is well that you be believing toward men and angels. But it is better to develop yourself. Develop yourself. Develop yourself. It says, you have desired to know the mysteries of my unseen worlds and the past histories of the earth. Behold, I will give you a new sense, which will fulfill your soul's desire. Do you think he's talking to us about what's going to happen in the cosmic era? He gives us a new sense. A new sense, brother. And with it, you shall read the books in the libraries of heaven. Verse 18, in the past, have I not said all things shall be revealed? Do not think that a loud speaking messenger will come for man. He says, do not think a loud speaking messenger will come for man. It says, do not think a loud speaking messenger will come, for man would not believe. He won't believe a loud speaking messenger. He won't believe a loud speaking messenger will come, for a man would not believe. But I quicken the righteous with my own hand, and they will comprehend without belief. Listen to that. What the hell does that mean? It says, but I quicken the righteous with my own hand, and they will comprehend without belief. What the hell does that mean? That's amazing. It says, the footnote says, that is, within themselves they shall perceive the truth or gist of the matter, and thus proceed beyond that which is accepted as true, believed to be true, merely because of tradition, guesswork, unsubstantiated testimony, manipulation of logic or emotion. Wow. So let's say, mine own hand, he will quicken the righteous with mine own hand, and they will comprehend without belief. That's talking to us. That's talking to us, man. He says, that is, within ourselves, we shall perceive the truth or gist of the matter, and thus proceed beyond that which is accepted as true, which means believed to be true. It says, merely because of tradition, guesswork, unsubstantiated testimony, manipulation, or logic or emotion. That's why many brethren, we're not turning away from the Bible, but we are exposing its weaknesses. And the Bible is highly traditional in culture, really in culture of men. But now we don't believe anymore because of tradition, solely because of tradition. You fake this. Or unsubstantiated testimony. See, there's something more that has given us faith. There's something deeper. Joey says, that's me. Verse 20. And again, Joey spoke in heaven, and in answer to Tay's prayer, and OAHSPE came forth, being one of the first fruits for this, the cosmic era. And with that concludes the reading of the word. Man, that was good. Boy, that was good. That was good. Man, that was some good reading right there. You got to love it. You got to love it. Got to catch my breath. Man, that blessed my soul. All right, I'm in the chat now. Let's see if anyone wants to say anything. If not, I'll close the video. We are, and man, that was good. That was good, man. You know, see, that type of food, bless your soul, man. Bless your soul. He's talking about the spirit in us. It's a osmosis of sorts that has manifested on our soul. And a lot of people, spiritual people, we in a situation where a lot of people, they talk about a lot of spiritual things. A lot of spiritual things, but the source is the same. This is ginger lemon tea. Ginger lemon tea. Man, that blessed my soul. Thank you, A Snap, for asking me to read that. That really was good. All right, a few more seconds. I'm going to go ahead and close the video. Brethren, thank you for joining me. You always bless my soul. Get together like this, have a little time of fellowship. It seems like things are really moving in the world, and looks like childbirth. Hey, Dave. Yeah, man, Creator blessed us, man. I loved it, man. Boy, oh boy. Oh man. I loved it. Thank you, Creator. So, brethren, now's the time, man. Now's a good time for watching and praying, It's really like a time of childbirth. It's really like a bittersweet time, man, with the conflicts that are going on. It's the false gods I perceive warring against one another. And that's why we got these conflicts. And it has come to pass, So, anyway, brother, I'm going to go ahead and close. Thank you for joining me. Bless my soul. I pray to God that He counts us worthy to escape the things coming on the earth. All we can do is watch and pray. Oh, Heavenly Father, I pray that you heal my brother's afflicted shoulder. His shoulder was really vexing him. It broke my heart to hear him in pain. So I pray that you heal his shoulder, and then that he comes on and testifies his shoulder is no longer afflicting him. And also the ills of my brethren who watch this video, who come in and bless my soul listening to the live. Heavenly Father, pray that you bless us with greater understanding. We know we're in the cosmos now, and we know that from now on, there will be greater and greater balancing between the physical and the spirit, which is what we read today. So we give thanks and bless your soul. And brethren, until I see you again on video, peace be unto you. Shalom.